BookTube. I'm Lori, and today I really want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving and talk to you a little bit about 5 authors that I have been just truly grateful for, both this year and beyond this year. These are authors that really, I think, are masterful in the way that they craft a story and plot it and deliver it and leave me feeling very, very satisfied. So let's get started. So one of these authors is Ruth Ware. I don't own any of Ruth Ware's novels in hardback form, although I'd like to collect them over time. But I have read every one of her releases over the years or listened to them, and I really enjoy Ruth Ware. She reminds me a lot of Agatha Christie, and those of you who followed me for a while know how much I adore Agatha Christie. Ruth Ware plots out a mystery in a way that I appreciate. Are they bumpy at times? Yes. A lot of people feel mixed about them, but I think she keeps getting better and better and better. And while I enjoyed In a Dark, Dark Wood very much, I can tell you that The Turn of the Key to me was even more satisfying. So I'm really grateful for Ruth Ware, and I'm grateful that she releases a novel pretty frequently, so I don't have to wait too long in between releases. This year also brought a new release by Diane Setterfield, and I have to say I was not at all disappointed by Once Upon a River, but I also adore The 13th Tale. It remains one of my top, I would say top 5 stories of all time. I never read Bellman and Black. I'm reticent about it because it did get complex reviews, and people, including my daughter, were not fans. But I will say that I think Diane Setterfield is brilliant, and I will always be a fan of at least those 2 novels. And I'm so grateful that Once Upon a River came out this year. It was a magical read, truly, truly. And The 13th Tale is neat too. So if you haven't, I encourage you to take a look at Diane Setterfield's work. Fredrik Backman this year was a new author to me, and Beartown really moved me. It's one of those novels that I sobbed over. It was what I call a 10 Kleenex read, and I have been told that other novels written by this author are just as fantastic. But I'm so grateful this year for Fredrik Backman because I feel like he told a story that needed to be told. It was a very complex novel about a sexual assault in a small community and the division of both sides of people who believed the girl's story and people who did not, as well as people who had information and knowledge about some things that was uncomfortable for them to hold and to decide what to do with that knowledge. Very well plotted, very, very well developed characters. You really got into the mindset of each one of them, and I thought it was brilliantly done. And I'm so grateful that it was one of my top 9 to read in 2019, and I'm so grateful that I took the time to read it. Kate Atkinson. Kate Atkinson released Transcription, I think at the end of 2018, but maybe the first part of this year, and I read it, loved it. I also have loved Life After Life, as well as A God in Ruins, and I think I've read one other of Kate's as well, although those 3 are my top favorite and the ones I'm most grateful for. She has an uncanny way of structuring a novel that is sometimes tricky for people, and she does a lot of dual timelines. And Life After Life, while maybe one of the most enjoyable reads, is very, very challenging to keep up with in the reading of it. A God in Ruins, a little less challenging, but also dual timelines, not a sequel necessarily, a standalone for sure, but it carries through a thread of one of the characters, Teddy from Life After Life. Transcription, totally different characters, non-related, but just as satisfying. Truly one of my favorites, and I'm so grateful that I'm not even sure how Life After Life ever came into my purview all those years ago, but I'm so happy that it did. And I can tell you for sure that one of my 2020 goals is to reread Life After Life. It's gotta happen. And I may reread Life After Life and then read A God in Ruins right after it, just so I get kind of that total feel for both of those pieces of work as standalones, as well as how they are so relatable. And then finally, Kate Morton. This year, Kate Morton released, well, I think last year, Kate Morton released A Clockmaker's Daughter, which I read this year. And I hadn't read Kate Morton for a while, and that was not only an interesting departure for Kate Morton, which a lot of people didn't appreciate, and I did, but also a very familiar Kate Morton style. She is grand and brilliant at creating stories that revolve around a setting, which I appreciate. She has a lot of characters and she digs just deep enough into them. I love the quality of research that must go into her work, because she does talk about families and people in different times of the decades. Just really appreciated the dual timeline of The Clockmaker's Daughter, as well as the aspect of it that was a ghost story. And I wasn't expecting that, and it wasn't really billed as a ghost story. So it came as a great surprise to me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I would say that Kate Morton does not disappoint. And again, I'm really grateful that I'll have the opportunity to reread or to read some additional novels of hers that I haven't already picked up. So this is a pretty short video, but one that I really wanted you to get today, because it is the day where we really do stop here in the United States and give thanks for a number of things in our lives. And we celebrate with lots of turkey and trimmings and family and friends. And I consider some of these authors to be my literary friends. I certainly don't get to meet them in person. None of these authors have ever done a book signing in my area, or have I seen them speak about their work in person, but they speak to me. And I feel, because I love them so much, I feel like they're a part of my life that will always be there, always be in my heart and in my desire to read more and more and more of their work. So I hope they keep writing more and more and more books all the time. And I'm very, very thankful that I had the experiences with them this year and other years that I did have. I hope you will take some time today to think about the authors and the books you're very, very grateful for. And while I wish you a lovely, happy Thanksgiving, if you live in a place that celebrates the holiday today, no matter what day you're watching this video, I wish you gratitude in your life. I wish you all of the energy and celebration of a day of gratitude and Thanksgiving. And I am very, very, very grateful for you, for your viewership, for your comments, for your thumbs ups, and for the experience that you've given me so far this year. I'm very, very grateful for you as well. Enjoy the day. Happy, happy reading. Bye.